Hey guys, I thought I'm gonna show you today a little bit of a work in progress scene. This is just a test render scene. I do them pretty often for testing purposes. I want to see how stuff actually looks like, especially when you have like a lot of details, like a lot of stars in the background. You have to kind of render it in a pretty good quality. Which you may don't really see on YouTube. YouTube decreases kind of the quality it shrinks the video very down. But I guess you know, anyway, it doesn't really matter. This is a test scene you can see, and I try to make a cargo spaceship, since, well, this is what I wanted to do anyways. Today I thought I'm gonna show you a little bit some scenes. So I would say welcome to my Blender nonsense. I was thinking about creating a second channel. I kind of created already one, but I haven't really put much effort into the details, since it's really just, you know, it's much more work and don't feel like it right now, and I think about the name. Anyways, today's talking about the ship. What I think is really cool is that it has some details. Oh, by the way, here's a big planet. Before we continue, I would say let's start. I can actually show you something. When I start the animation, you see then the planet is rotating, because the planet, everything you see is from different scenes I created during the last year, I guess. So that's the cool thing about Blender. Everything you create, you can use it later on, after a while, and everything you learn, you can use it to get better and to have better results quicker. Because if you have a planet, you can just copy this guy and place it somewhere else. I can show you this, for example. If I reveal what is inside a planet, you're gonna be surprised. Another planet. So this, I just, you know, copied this little guy and made it bigger, because I wanted to have like a gas planet with a little bit of clouds. So the result is that this kind of is just, you don't have to do that, you know. It's just, I thought it's funny, especially for showing purposes. There's another funny thing I would like to show you. There is if you wonder what kind of music this is the YouTube, you know, YouTube music you can, which is free to use for everybody. I have to kind of stop that. It irritates me pretty well. I like it. It's called Russian Dance. I like it very much. It's very relaxing. Especially it's very late. It's, what is it, 1:18 p.m. So I'm tired. I actually wanted to record a little bit of blood, but well, it's too late. I'm not feeling like it anymore. I need a little bit of, you know, energy and so on. But I have something. I prepared something. I cannot record right now, but this is the inside of the spaceship. You have seen it slightly different, and I upgraded it a little bit. So there is now here a little bit of, well, I can start animation. Then you see somebody is playing Bloodfish Supply. So this is just a simple video of my older Let's Play, which is running here as an, well, as a video, but it's only showing some FP, some frames, you know, and you see it's running. I should actually adjust the to make it even look nicer. I have to stop the animation. Hold on. And actually, what's missing is it's not very. It should be a little bit darker. And I think an easy way to do that is just by. Where is it? This one here? Gamma. Yeah, gamma is good for that, I guess. So we can change the value here a little bit to adjust it. And we are gone again. Well, guys, it's later. The navigation here is a little bit tricky. It's not like in a computer game, but kinda. So hold on. And it's also a little bit late, so you have to bear with me. Let me just focus this one here, and then we are, yeah, that's a lot better. So, and if you change here the slider, you can see we can change the gamma value a little bit. There are so many ways to adjust that, but gamma is only one of that things you can use, which helps you actually. I made it a little bit metallic, so this also, for stuff like this it's helpful, but you know, you can a lot of ways to have a similar result on this. This is just one of those things. Yeah, and then I have here the door. This door is actually very cool because it is also from the other scene. But let me show you one little thing. Hold on. This is better. This is a lot better for showing purposes. So if we go a little bit further away, so hold on, I have to accelerate this a little bit. Problem is when I talk and do that, it's harder as when I just do it, you know. So that's why I'm also always mispressing. So that the idea was that because it's a cargo spaceship, that we can actually transport some containers and so on, and that would be the container we are transporting. I do not know what we are transporting. It looks very funny, but this is very interesting. So you see this kind of. I think this is how you actually could create the Enterprise if you want, in a very easy way, to be honest. You have to kind of figure this out, how this works, but I'm going to show you what I mean. If I change here the ship a little bit, let's extrude this a little bit. You see, while doing so, we are changing the ship, modeling it, and at the same time, the complete texture is growing with it, which makes it very, very fun to do that. So there is no, whatever you want to do, you can just create that. I learned this while modeling this ship, or I figured this out while modeling this ship, and I thought this is the way how you really probably make an Enterprise, you know. I mean, Enterprise is round, but let me just show you this. Let's make cube is fine. Cube is always fine. Where's my cube? Somewhere there. Let's put him back, make him bigger. Up. So, and if we are going to this material, yeah, I haven't named my material. It's just, I don't know, I'm not a naming things guy, I guess. It's a little bit dumb. You should always name stuff. Oh no, this is the wrong material, I see. This is for the, oh, I also learned, and that's thanks to someone, what is very interesting before I show this one here, is you see the inside looks different to the outside. And the funny thing is that I really figured it out by watching a video, in this case, from, I think it is a German, I forgot the name of the channel. There's so many channels, so I have to apologize, but I let a thumbs up because he made a good video on how to so this is the outside ship and this is the inside ship, and he made a really good video and showed how to create a front side of a texture and the back side of a texture, which gives you the ability to model to change the inside look while using the same object if you want, and the outside look. It's a little bit, you know, you may think that might be not a big thing or something, but it kind of is. It makes it, I mean, it gives me the ability to just have a nicer look in the inside. Anyway, I'm not going to explain how he did it because it's too late. But what I'm going to do is showing you that how the nodes are looking. They might look a little bit off because, you know, I'm still learning. So to me it looks okay. And the weird thing is it doesn't work the same in the yeah, so here's the output material. This is the end results. So if you know what the nodes are doing, you probably can see it well, or maybe not well enough. Wait a second, this might be better. Yeah. So okay, so what do we have? Is basically this is the output material, and this is the inside. This one here is just the inside, and it goes into this mix. you know, the inside. So this is just, I mean, you can actually ignore this basically, so to keep it simpler. So, oh no, I want to change it back. No, I cannot. Ah, okay. So yeah, so this is important. So this goes into the mix, and then the factor is very important. So this is what I have learned by watching this video, is that you have to use the geometry node and you have to put it into the factor, and then you have to put, well, the one color which is for the inside to this thing, and the other one to this, so that you have like a back side and a front side. So basically speaking, in the way it doesn't work in cycle, it only works in Eve. If you want to do this in cycle, you have to use basically the same, only that you're using the shader, mix shader, I guess. And then you have to take away the shader to RPG or something like that. It's if there is an interest, I can maybe explain this better if somebody sees that and he wants to know how to do that. I actually have a save file for that as well. So how do I go? But you know, it's not about this. I don't want to go into that too deep. I just want to show the cool ship. So this was very interesting, but you have to also think about, when you do that, everything in Blender is has you don't even have to adjust it, but everything in Blender has an outside and an inside thing, and you can change this, I think with Alt N maybe, yeah. So when you are in the edit mode and you press Alt N, then you're getting here, for example, you can tell Blender that this surface right now is considered right now outside, I guess. You want to have this modified to the inside, and if I do that, then automatically it flips. And you see, well, you only see the outside flipping because you don't see, well, I think I have to hide this. Yeah, so it's vice versa. It's not, I should not save it like that. So that was very interesting to figure this out, because it is easier to build those ships. It's really hard to build ships nice in the inside and the outside. This is not really, I'm not 100% satisfied. Because it's tricky if you work with the subdivision stuff. If you are building a ship and you see it's a little bit round, every corner is a little bit rounder, and that has to do that we are using the subdivision modifier, 2 of them, to give it this certain look. So I use 2 of them to make it not too round. So if I put, I think I could also do it like this one. But then I thought it's too round. I don't like it so much, so I use this one and another one on top of it, and then it becomes something like that. Yeah, so what's tricky is then to make the ground. So if you have like everything is curved, kind of, everything tries to become a bubble if you want, but you have to kind of you want to have like a one piece as well. Yeah, I do not know. To make the ground like to the 90-degree angle, very tricky in this case, because everything tries to become round. I don't know how to say that. That was the tricky part. But you learn a lot by doing so. Okay, and now to this little guy here. So this is basically a door I created in another scene, and that was the goal back then already. To have a whole segment. So my goal was to create a door which I can always kind of use, and we can open and copy and paste it into other objects and have like a one segment. This gives me the ability to place cool science fiction doors quickly into new scenes. And the funny thing is that this one actually I tried. I'm not sure. It's not necessary, I guess, but it's kind of funny to try to stick as close as I could to a real door. So the door basically really goes into a hole. You see, there's really space for the little door here, and that was the thing I thought I really want to do that properly, since you know, the door is opening and closing, and I thought it would be cool if there is really the door is really kind of vanishing into the wall, but in a good way. It's not perfect, it's not the best thing ever, it's also a little bit broken kind of in terms of I wanted actually to make the whole thing simultaneous or look alike, the front and back, but you see it looks a little bit different, but only those stuff. It's not that big of a deal. It's also good to change this. So yeah, so the ship is not completely done. Let me just reload the whole nonsense here. Okay, dokie. So I also got myself a little bit of water. So where were we? I forgot. So I reloaded the whole scene. Weird is when you go out of the camera, and the camera is kind of like this, like it's a little bit. You see the camera. This is the camera here, and the degrees are not completely right. So when we go out of this view, then we kind of stick to that. That's something I haven't figured out. There is for sure a solution to that, but the easiest one is just to go out from the camera view when we are, when the angle is the right angle. So, yeah. What I like much is this kind of thing that it's actually, you know, that you can just play this. It's very, 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 very funny. I love that. Yeah, I think, you know, it would be even funnier if I could actually somehow link this to a recording software and play in real time, and it would be represented in this environment. That would be very cool. I don't know what I did with that, what that represents. I have no idea. It's just, I thought it's cool to have a little planet inside a ship. Why not? Yeah, the face here. This one maybe could also become, I'm not so sure right now, so we're gonna do it. This one could become a window so that we can look outside. Look at that, there's a planet, yay. Wait, we're gonna go back into this menu. So, what is also a little bit wrong, I want to have this ship a really, really, really big ship, and it's really big, it's really, really big. But you see already when you have the opportunity in this in Blender, when I have to change this thing here. Let's go to this view. When I press, when I am this menu, and I think I press tab, then we are, why we are so fast? Oops, sorry, it's too much water. Yeah, now we are kind of running around here. Since this is a little bit, do we run around? No, now we are running around. So when we run around like this, kind of like it though. It's a little bit laggy, but I like it. And then you see this is how big we are. And it's kind of okay, but I think the proportions aren't correct. So, I mean, what does it mean correct? I mean, I don't know. It's fine. The good thing is we could actually place a whole ship inside this ship. There's even more space, but the door for sure I have to tiny the door to change the scale of the door. Maybe more doors. I mean, modifying this thing is not really a problem. I'm just saying that it's not completely the right scale, you know. So this is because I've just put it in and adjusted a little bit the texture to the ship, but it's not done completely. So let's go back into this menu because this looks really good. I have to check something. Viewport, view. Yeah, this one I'm gonna change to this. So this is more game-like view. Yeah, that makes, that's a lot better. It's laggy, but that's, I mean, that is my, thought. It's like there's a lot of stuff going on here, and also when we play this here, and I'm recording with with open broadcast software, and my GOG launcher is open, so it's not a good thing for showing that actually it's really bad. Oh yeah, so we could go into. I have to accelerate it a little bit. We could go. Yeah, so this I showed you already, right? The container. Then here is another space. Because of the mirror modifier, I have to actually. This is a cool tunnel, and then basically it's a little bit dark right now. I think we have to use this one here. Then here's a little bit more space for passengers, you know, this could be like a living quarter or something, I thought. Yeah, so I'm not sure if I really you know, I'm pretty much almost done. I think I'm gonna fix some little things. I'm not sure if I completely if I furniture the whole thing, because I don't know, maybe I do, maybe I don't. It's really hard to tell. But I mean, the good thing is you can always modify your save files and so on. So this is the good thing with Blender, because I mean, this ship I built, and a lot of time is into that, and a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to do that. And that good thing is it's not just, you know, a model and you have it somewhere. So, no, you can really modify it all the time, and you can use it in different scenes, and you have to. Oh, this is very interesting. Those are, it's only one, it's just mirrored and so on. They are really easy to make. They look kind of funny, really easy. So here's a better version. So this is the first version. You see I have a place created for that. And they look interesting and cool, and they are really easy to make. And you see there's some noise here, or not? Yeah, it's a noise with a bump effect. The bump effect is kind of like it creates the illusion of depth on a surface only with texture. So it's not really 3D, it just looks like 3D. And in this case, I think it's a little bit too big, but it looks like the ship went through a little bit of a struggle, which is always good. And this thing is also very interesting. I kind of like that. I learned something with the shrinking modifier, I believe is used here. Let's see, what's that called? Sometimes I use modifier, I have no idea how they are called. I just know what they are doing, what they look like. Shrink wrap. And this basically, I watched a friend of mine played with other friends on Steam. They played a game. It doesn't really matter. I've seen a tire of a game, and I thought, how do I make a tire? And then I looked up a video for the profile, and I still haven't really figured out how. But it brought me to this idea to use that kind of modifier for this ship. So this is a second thing. You see, it's a little bit weird when it's because it's very strong connected to the surface here, but I cannot explain how completely. So, and then we have here some they are also from other projects. When we are playing the animation, you see, well, let's go into shading, because then we don't have the grid. It looks just a little bit cleaner when I'm, yeah. So you see, they are looking like like a peanut or something. That doesn't look like an asteroid, but this was they are rotating. I think if all of them should rotate endlessly with the what's that called again? I keep forgetting the names. Not animation. We have to go into animation. Not necessarily. What was it again? A graph editor. You kind of can create an animation cycle for endless animation rotation. And for stuff like this, is pretty cool, because you can place them now anywhere, and they're gonna rotate. But I connected them to empty, this one here, because yeah, they do rotate endlessly. But you see, if I try to change this position, he is always falling back into his pattern. So because I want them to still, rotate endlessly, I connected everything to an empty, and now when I change the empty, the position changes as well. But for the objects, the position is still the same. It's a little bit tricky. Again, if you know Blender, you know what I mean. If not, then it sounds a little bit weird, probably because I'm not explaining it well. Not because it's really complicated. well, it is kinda, but at the same time, it's not, depending on how you start. You know, when you have no idea of stuff like that, and it's overwhelming because it just looks so weird. But if you kind of like it and start easy, Blender is very easy if you do easy stuff. So I think, yeah, you step by step, you're gonna get better. And you don't have to really get better all the time. Just, you know, the world is fun, I guess. That's the best thing. And yeah, the colors are wrong. So I think I'm gonna do them again because I think they are. This isn't a good example. So this is actually just you know, could be the origin would probably be a ball or something, and then I just modified it like, you know, like this. But there's an easier way. I think there's a better way. Hold on, I just have to interrupt my voice. Okay, so that's a lot better. I need a little bit of water. Look at that. Looks like crap actually, but it's funny. I like it. I like it. So let's go back. Yeah, I think, is it that array? No, there must be somewhere. Let me go into this menu here, and then let's see. Oh, today I figured out I can do this one here. It's funny, if you are in this flying mode and you are aiming an object, you can jump to that by pressing space. So I use it since a while, and I kind of knew that I would jump sometimes, but today I actually figured out that it only works when I focus on something. And right now I have no focus on anything, so I'm not jumping. I mean, I did right now. When I press to the sun, boop, we are in the sun. And that's, I learned today. Isn't that really weird that you learn stuff? I mean, Blender is so deep and so crazy because you can do everything, for also video editing and so on, such and drawing, that I think you're having a lot of fun with Blender because there is so much to learn. I think I just, you know, so much to learn. It's incredible what people are making, especially when they combine the real world with the, you know, I've seen video. Oh, big spiders. Yeah, on my wall, not wall. What is it? Ceiling? No, not ceiling. Curtain. But she shall live. She shall live and eat the insects. So that's okay. Yeah. Where was I? Where's this gonna go again? Anyway, so we have here, yeah, hold on guys, hold on. Yeah, I know what it is. So, you know, if you eat milk products, that was my dinner, it's not good for the voice. Coffee with milk and then like milk, like muesli, I don't know the English word right now. It's just not good for voice when you talk a lot. So this is actually very interesting because do I have a modifier? No, not with them. One of those has already the display, no, subdivision, no, this something with this, I keep forgetting. Displays modifier? This maybe? I'm getting crazy. I had it today. Ah, this guy here. That's a good example actually. So this is, I mean, they are all testing kind of asteroids, and this guy is very interesting because he changes the shape when we are moving it through the space here. That's because we are using the displays modifier. It actually just changes the whole shape, and I think it's connected. Could be wrong because this is still a kind of new. I have learned about this in the other space universe I created, but I haven't really played around with a lot. So that you know, it's you in order to get it, you have to do stuff with it. So and we are using a noise, I guess, or whatever this is. So the thing is, if you are, I'm going to show you this. So first of all, this is, I think it's just a. So you see, this is just basically a cube. And if we are saying, I want to have a round cube because I want to have an asteroid, then we can give it a subdivision modifier. And now we have kind of like a round thing, right? And now we could change it, and we could also use a ball and changing the structure of the ball. But it's a lot better to just use the and this place, yeah, modifier, and we are in the edit mode, and when we change that now, nothing happens. Because I think we have to connect this guy to, we have to give it, what is it actually called? Texture properties. So, well, then it's texture properties. And now we have to choose, let's see, how did I do that? One of those, doesn't really, I don't know. Let's just use noise, and you see it became this kind of weird structure, which is cool for everything spacey. But let's say we want to go for something more rounder, huh? How do we do that? I have no idea. Let's figure this out. I mean, I kind of did it already, but you know, then again, you kind of do it, and after a while you forget how you did it, and then you have to kind of do it again. And this is how you are learning those stuff. So it's not very round. I'm sure there's a way by experimenting for long enough, but let's just use a smooth modifier too, top of it. And what does it do? Not getting smoother a little bit, but not really asteroid-like. Let's see if this does change. Look at that. Maybe that's fine. Let's use another, whatever this is, wood maybe. Wood looks better, kinda. Doesn't change anything. This is how I figure stuff out. I'm changing properties, and if something happens, then I'm very happy because I can maybe use it later on. There is definitely a way to make it very round until the point where I really like it, but I want to show you a little bit more. Oh yeah, that's what probably irritates is the asteroid is too reflecting actually. Yeah, that's a little bit better, huh? Not perfect, but it suffice for now. So when we say, now we have this little asteroid here, right? And when we change the position, nothing happens. But if we say, and that's the funny part, it's good if you want to create a lot of random stuff, you can change this to global, and depending on where we are putting this guy now, it changes the structure. And what is it good for? Well, for multiple things, I guess. One thing could be you kind of want to have a structure, a shape which is permanently changing. Could look weird, I would say, alien-like, you know, if you give it like a reflecting thing, for example, taking away this a little bit, maybe a little bit shiny by using this one here, so kryptonite-like. So now if this is changing, you see it could be interesting. You know, I mean, you have to change more than that, I guess. But this is one thing. The other thing is basically when you copying this one or duplicating it from here to that, every time I copy it and every time I change the position, it looks slightly different. We don't see it very well, so I would say in order to see it better, because you will say, oh, it looks the same, and you're kind of right if you say so. I think we have to change it more drastically to see it better. So if you duplicate it now, you see, I mean, you can see it, but if you still struggle, and I give you that, because I struggle too. Let's see, can we change it extremely drastically? So is this better? Still looks weird. I want to show you this like that we see a difference, but not too much. So let's see. Yeah, I mean, okay, we have to just, you know, do that. Okay, let's see. But you see, every time, basically every time when we change the position, it looks different. And the good thing is, if you have a shape, let's say, let's go give it a relatively good shape, like this one. And let's say we want to have different kind of asteroids. Then we could just copy this guy. It's why do I have such a creepy, such a stupid? Let's see. I want to have something a little bit that we see it a little bit better. I apologize for that. I'm not able today to do that very well. Yeah, let's use that. Maybe is this better? A better example, you know? Anyway, I think you get the idea. So basically, what you can do, that's good for a random generated stones, you know? Unfortunately, they are not changing so drastically right now, but I had a better example which was incredible to me. Direction, strength. So let me see. No, this was a desperate attempt to make it somehow bigger subdivisions of it. We have already smooth. What could we use? Smooth it even more. I cannot think of something right now better. Fortunately. But that must, you know, because otherwise you can spend time for that, you know, you can think about that, how to change it. Yeah. Oh yeah, this works too. Okay, so we can change the size as well. And every time we change the properties, the size and so on, the whole shape changes. And now we have different stuff, and that's good if you want to have asteroids. But if you want to now animate them, they will always change, keep changing. So what you basically do, if you have all those guys, you can just apply this modifier here, for example, Control and A applies that. Did I do that right now? No, I didn't, I guess. Well, why didn't this work out? That's very interesting. Apply. Maybe because we have to apply this first. Sometimes it's very tricky on how to apply stuff, but I think we did it. So this one is now fixed, you know, so you can create them very fast, you know, and then having different kind of shapes. I mean, right now, again, they are kind of look very similar to each other, but you can spend some time figuring out good values for that and then changing it slightly. And I think you get it gist, hopefully. I don't want to stick to around it. So unfortunately, I was so... I really wanted to have a good example. I couldn't create a good example, but you get the gist of it, I guess. Yeah, so you can create faster and those little rocks. Okay, now let's go to the other stuff. So the enterprise thing. Let's say we have the cube here again, making it bigger, and now we are using the material. Now my headset is saying goodbye, but it doesn't really matter. I don't need that. We don't have sound anyway. So this is a fast way to see if you're like me and you have not really, you don't really know which material is which one. You just go into the edit mode and then select with the surface stuff one thing, and it jumps immediately to the right. So this one here has the material 44, so I don't have to name it, and I always, if I want to know, this is the way how I figure out which material is what, and this is to me completely fine. I mean, it's always good to name things, I admit it's always good, but it's, if you still learning and experimenting, I mean, you know, whatever, you can always do it. Let's say you created a super good project and then you want to give it to somebody and the person says I want to have a better overview, then you have to do it afterwards, I guess. Luckily, I'm not at this point that anybody wants that, so that is not very interesting, and so I'm just doing what am I doing? I'm just doing what I'm doing, what I want to do. This is what I want to say. Okay, so this is material. I actually named it actually. And if you see some bad written stuff, that's because when I write stuff, when I name stuff for myself, I save everything like how I think in my own language, which is probably a mixture of everything. But you know, it's my language, my personal language, and probably completely wrong. But I don't really care, just in case you know that. So we can just drag and drop this on top of the so this outer wall, has already the prop. I have to change also the headset. stupid headset, when my headset gets empty, it tells me that for 20 minutes, I could say this from time to time, that it's gonna go out in 20 minutes instead of just working 10 more minutes and then telling me, I don't know. It just annoys me with the doo-doo-doo. So dumb. Anyway, so we have the outer wall. This is the property of enterprise thing if you want. I'm just gonna use that. And we can just drag and drop material on top of other stuff, but we have to be in the object mode for that. So, and now we have the other wall here. It looks actually very weird. I didn't expect that, but well, I mean, somehow it's always like that. So let's see what happens if I, first of all, is this really the right thing? It is the right thing. Then I wonder why it is not working like that. Well, that's also interesting. It kind of does. It looks interesting. But maybe it's because, well, I have no idea currently. This happens all the time. But let's see, let's make a similar version of that. It's probably like this and another subdivision modifier, surface modifier. Let's say like this, no, vice versa. That's very interesting. It doesn't get those little guys here. And I really have to check that. I mean, this happens all the time. You think you've figured something out, you know what you're doing, and then turns out it's not like that. Well, it's interesting. Other wall. Okay, first of all, we're gonna, if you copy stuff, you are sharing the properties. So I'm gonna show you this again. So for example, I drop this again, then here says, it says 3. That means this texture is used 3 times in this scene. And if you change something in here, like for example, this here, then everything else changes. And sometimes you don't want to have that, so you are clicking on this, and now it became its own material. Question still remains why it is not behaving like the other stuff. That is really, I didn't expect that. But we gonna figure this out. I hope. So let's see. This goes into the emission. The emission is responsible for this kind of effect. Where is my thing here? So that's so weird. It kind of works here, but then again, not really. Here it appears. Interesting. Good, at least it appeared. That is already good. Oh, look at that. We have already a funny shape actually. So to create the enterprise, I mean, you know, you're not just, if you would do that, you would do it starting from the center and then with a mirror modifier, but it already creates the shape. The question is now, can we just, I think we can. See, that was the problem. So you get the idea. Now if you are, you have to, if you want to make something symmetrical, then you have to use a mirror modifier. Just, you know, it makes stuff easier when you change something on the left side or the x-axis. It mirrors it and so on. You kind of have to do that, otherwise you're getting crazy. But you see the general idea is very simple, and I show you the notes if you're interested in that. This is something, the important thing is, although it's a little bit, this thing should maybe more here. Yeah, well, you know, don't get confused too much. It's just the windows, the emission, the blue stuff here, the shiny stuff is the shiny stuff is what goes into that. So if you start with a new object, giving it a new material, you're getting this basic thing, and then you just put it like I did. Kind of, what the heck did I do? Is this my no, I think sometimes I click something that happens. Apologize. So I clicked I clicked on a different object and then I had a different menu. So again, so this is what goes into the shine in the emission. I probably said immersion. Sometimes I write things wrong, I say things wrong. This always happens because my mind obviously creates its own language, because I don't like any language on this planet, so I'm gonna create just my personal language, which no one speaks. Well, I mean, this is what the Gua'ulds did, I guess. Or was it the Borg? No, wait, there was, no, not the Borg. The Goa'uld had the language. The Star Trek nonsense. I forgot the name. Klingon, and I know the German thing. Yeah, anyway, I'm not that deep of a Star Trek fan, well, I like it, don't get me wrong, I like it. Sometimes I had some lifetimes where I really enjoyed watching Enterprise with Picard and so on. Almost binge watched it for a while, and then I got lost it again. So I like it, but I'm not a fanboy, I guess. That's just what I am. So I'm not completely so in that I know every detail of that. That's for sure not. But I think it's very cool. Picard's awesome. So let's see. Okay, so this goes, basically, this is the noise stuff, which causes the window nonsense, if you want to see the shiny windows. This is the color we use. We change the color in here in this thing, then it changes the color of the Enterprise, but now it looks more like, hey, this is the Borg, huh? Here we go. So you see, this is for the emission, and when you can, usually you kind of overdo it. If you come across the emission in Blender, you think that is so awesome, so that you are turning it on like a little bit too much, I guess. But it's cool. And it doesn't matter. If you like it, it's the best thing what can happen. Because one thing I figured out is sometimes when you create something, then you show something, sometimes a person, and say, hey, isn't that not cool? And the person says, yeah, that's cool, that's pretty good. And then you're changing it, making it better, and you self think it's better, and the other person says, yeah, it's cool, but I didn't like it. It kind of hurts. But at the same time, I mean, this is how it is, you're not making it good for everybody, and what you like is not, that's the thing. But what I try to say is, you have to go with what you like in the end. I thought about this a long time. It's good to test out suggestions. It's mandatory that if some good friend, I think I said this once, makes a suggestion, at least give it a try. Give it a try and take a look. And then if you like it, you're gonna use it for sure, trust me. And if you don't like it, that's also okay. Then still use what you personally like better. Rely on what you like, but listen, try it, and then see it. Okay, so one little thing and then we are done. I'm gonna show you an older version. So now we are on the save file 1. This is called Nephalis. This is my project name for that. You see, this looks a little bit different. This is how it actually, no, this is not. This one here, you kind of should look familiar. This is the entrance of the whole thing. This is how it looked at first, and I want to say something. I want to say one thing. If you do that and it doesn't look good, trust me, keep working on it, because it'll look better when you keep working on it. Because this didn't look great. I thought, what the heck am I doing? Then the next thing was, I do not know. This looks like a weapon. This is without the mirror mode, but still. And then I had this thing here, which I thought, yeah, it doesn't look bad, but it also looks like a vacuum cleaner. So not like a spaceship at all. So I thought, or like a motorcycle. So I wasn't sure at this time at all if I like it. Then this one, I kind of figured this out, I guess. Experimented with the texture, and you can see you can make like a sun energy thing. So I thought this is cool, and here I tried to make those little guys again. I learned this doing them creating those in the other, in the what was a Balagus ship. So and we can already enter this one here, and you see it's really different to what the other thing looks like, and but the idea is already built kinda. And what I didn't like about that is that it looks, again, I have something is wrong with me, I guess. I always go like I had a different version where this looked like an insect again. So, well, I mean, to be fair, insects are kind of alien-like, so it's normal that we are trying to go for alien-like a little bit into the insect world. Although I haven't really, I'm not so into insects. I mean, I kind of like documentaries, but not as much that I really. I'm not an insect guy, I want to say that. Although they're really interesting. The older I get, the more interesting, boring stuff becomes, or my brain is just falling apart, you know. So, one more thing. So this is just Nephalis 4. Don't get the, you know, here I think I tried. Did I try that already to make the? I'm not so sure now. That was very tricky to I think. Yeah, I simply turned it off. This is how it actually looked. So when we turn on the mirror modifier, then you see that, yeah, it looks a little bit different. So this one is I changed, and yeah, this is already here. That's good. But what I think is different is the inside. Yeah, you see, so that this one looks different, and yeah, it was very tricky to make the ground pretty like a good ground without glitches and so on, because you are everything is round again. It's a little bit tricky to do that, but it's fun, and you kind of understand how to do it. But it's something, I think practice is very helpful. You kind of, I think that I'm not there yet, but if I keep doing it, I kind of understand it naturally, but I'm away from that. So when I create this and I have a little bit of a break and I do other stuff, like then animate my stuff and changing other stuff, I forget about that. And next time I will have a hard time again, but it's easier every time you create something new. You are remembering your stuff, kinda. Yeah, so Blender is very interesting. Yeah, guys, I think we are done. So that's all. I just wanted to show you. It's still a work in progress, but actually, honestly, I think we are almost reaching the end of this little project. I think what is missing, some cool music, a little bit of adjustments here and there, but it's basically, and that's what it's gonna be, I guess, for this project. And then, yeah, I mean, here's the thing, maybe I'm ending up working longer on it or not. And if sometimes you can be fast creating a new ship, but if the details can take a lot of time. Also the design decisions you make, you are gonna go back and reverse, and then you're leaving stuff out. This, you know, what I try to say is you can probably, let's go back into the other stuff. Yeah, sometimes you can just create very fast, but if you're then not satisfied and you want to change some little details, like, oh, this is something I almost forgot. Yeah, I want to show you. Stop. So, for example, you know, what I spent a lot of time changing how the universe looks, because I wanted to change I mean, sun is weird, especially if you're using, let's go into the world properties, shading. Sorry, I think now I'm getting tired. It's too late. It's 2:10 now. So this is the world properties, and I have like multiple things because I changed them a lot. And this is an easy way to save your configuration. You just copied it, and then you're working on the copy, changing it. And if you screw up something, you still have the copy. So that's always good. If you change that, you see it kind of changes here too. So I kind of like the dust. At the same time, I mean, this is personal taste, right? So whatever you like, but dust is very interesting. It's not just changing the sunlight. You can also, well, let's go back into this menu here. So what's basically causing the dust is this. We can ignore. I can just use this one here. But this is very, you know, dusty like, and you can, I mean, it's called volume scatter. I just say it's dust because I'm, you know, still a noob, and I want to be a noob, because if you're a noob, you can always talk whatever you want, and you will always say, well, I didn't know it better. So yeah, you can change the atmosphere and so on, and yeah. On the one hand, well, in the universe there is no such thing as sound, for example, or like this density of dust. I don't think so, but you know, it's also the creativity nonsense. There is sun dust, yeah, but I'm not sure if I think in a huge scale you can see it, but not sure if you would see that close up. I don't think there's any dust. There's a vacuum, and that's about it. There is no dust or something. I think so, but what do I know? I'm not an astronaut. But it creates this kind of light stuff, which is extremely cool, and you can use that actually later on for other stuff. Like, let's say we wanna go here. We wanna go next time for horror movie or something. Then you can really just, you know, change the whole atmosphere. And now you see we have a lot of dust here, a little bit too much light, but it becomes a little bit Silent Hill like, you know. Actually, this is the right environment for playing a horror game like this one here. A horror game. Like, you know, I love the fact that you can actually do that you can just, it's so easy to do that actually, by the way. Again, everything is basically not very complicated, and thanks to all the people who are creating the YouTube videos and who are teaching you, gives you the ability to look up every problem. So when you start Blender, I would really recommend, I mean, if you're like me, this is a little bit, start with, get familiar with the controls, and then do those stuff with the cubes. Experiment a little bit with the cubes and see what you can do. And if you start to wonder about something, then look at this particular thing up, what you wonder about. Look it up and check it out, and then try to do that, and then play around with that a while until you start wondering again. And this is the best way you learn, because if you want to learn everything at once, because let's say you want to learn everything, the basics immediately, and you want to know them well, good luck with that. Probably not going to work out, except if you're a genius or very intelligent. But I think the way how you are you're like a child, you know, you are kind of playing and learning. It's just so much better for people like me. I say there also, I mean, I have to say that, you know, some of my friends, they are learning differently. They are very intelligent, most of them. That's why I benefit from, because they are fucking intelligent people. And, you know, some people learn different, and that's also okay. But if you're a guy who struggles, who gets overwhelmed quick, then it's only because you are trying to see too much. You know, scale it down to a cube and experiment with that. That's probably why Blender gives you the cube first, because they're telling you focus on the cube and then see what you can do. So, okay, well, this is my ship. I hope you like it. It's not completely finished, but also the first project I made, I was trying to create them and only showing them when they are done. But the problem with that is, because I don't have the audience anyways, you are working hard and long and long and long, and then it's done and no one sees that really. So it's good because it takes away the pressure of polishing something until it's completely perfect and then showing it. So it's better, you know, showing some here and there. This is the state when I feel like it's just a lot better and it's more natural, and that's a lot of fun. Yeah, okay, so guys, I have to go to bed. If this was interesting, then I did my job. I'm happy to show that if somebody watched that far. Thank you very much, and start some Blender if you're interested. It's an awesome program. It's crazy and free to everybody. Bye bye.